Okay, time to take this rear wheel off. I can't wait to get this one done. That'll be pretty good. Having both of these wheels built will definitely be something very helpful. Well, okay, I got the rear wheel removed from the bike and wheel bearings are shot. I mean, completely rocked out. It was funny because I had this thing picked. I had this cherry picker holding it up, and as soon as I pulled the wheel, the bike kicked out because I didn't have the side stand down and started spewing gasoline all over the floor. So I got to get out of here because I can't stand it. And these bearings are shot. And take a look at this sprocket. Sprocket's not too bad. I've got new hardware for this thing, and obviously we'll put the same gold Excel on it. So I'm pretty pumped up about it. All right, let's take this thing apart. I have new hardware. Thank the Lord, because these things are roached. These studs look pretty rough too. They retain the sprocket. I'd like to replace those as well. See how this works. Little spanner style nut in there. And I got it, which is not favorable. That's not a good thing, because usually you have to take and hammer these off. Let's get the sprocket out of our way here. Sprocket doesn't look too bad. Let's see what else we've got here going on. Doesn't look too good in here as far as the grease around the wheel. But then again, the people I purchased the bike from weren't exactly mechanics, so they did what they could to resell. Oh yeah, that's gooey in there. That's some rough stuff in there. All right, next step, we figure out how we have to get this thing off of here. Wrestle this tube out of here, or this nut that retains it anyways. Rim locks aren't going back on here. I'm never going to ride this thing in the dirt. With the kind of money that I'm going to put into this thing, it's just not going to happen. I'm just going to put plastic caps over them. So if I do ride it anywhere, it'll be a trail, a groomed trail, so why bother? See what we can do here. I'm going to pull this tire off and then see what I have to do to get this hub off. Because I'm not a Honda guy, I'm more of a Kawasaki, Yamaha guy, but I do like this bike. Oh yeah, not a bad wrestling match. This one isn't bad at all. So, yeah, we're free on this side. Turn her over. So the tire's off. We've got ourselves the duct tape rim band set up. I don't do these things. I mean, I've heard of guys doing it, but hey, you do whatever you want to do. Hitting these spokes these nipples with a little PB. I'm going around twice here. I'm not going to cut them with bolt cutters this time. I didn't cut the front. I just kept all the spokes. Give them to somebody to swap me. Maybe somebody could use one. Maybe there's a salvageable one and they just need one spoke or something. So I went in the house and thought about it for a minute, and then I remembered it's this seal that's unavailable that you have to get off. And let me tell you, that was a good time getting that off with a pick and going round and round to get it. And then underneath, we have this humongous circlip holding it in place, and that's also a good time to do. But we got those, and now our hub should come off here. Should. I don't know what else would be holding it. So yeah, I set the phone down and pulled it off there readily. It was absolutely no problem. It's in good shape. The rubber dampers are exceptionally good on this thing. I can't believe it. Somebody must have replaced those at one point in time. But we're ready to throw this thing. I'm going to throw this thing on a truing stand and start to loosen these spoke nipples and get this thing going. I forgot to check these wheel bearings before I put this thing on the truing stand. Oh yeah, they're roached. That side is anyway. Let's see what we've got on the other side. That one's, yeah, it's grindy. They're gone. So, but I have new ones. I have all balls. So we should be in good shape. Let's get around the stand. Okay, guys, I totally lied to you. I spent about an hour and I got 6 spokes out of this thing. And I went and got the bolt cutters. And I know I said I wasn't gonna do it, but it just gets to the point where it's like, forget this, because I had trouble even cutting these spokes in half because they're just so rusty. I mean, look at the spoke. They're just so rusty. There's nothing there to use anyways. I had trouble getting them out of the hub. I mean, it took me 15 minutes just to get them out of the hub. So that's where we're at. It's time to knock these bearings out, get the center spacer out, and degrease this thing. Get it cleaned up so I can shoot it. I'm going to shoot it with 316 stainless. Yeah, this is stuck pretty good. I'm having to go through multiple heat cycles here to heat this thing up. Okay, so the bearings are out. They're no good, obviously. And time to degrease this thing, and I'm using this stuff. J&B Citrus Degreaser. It's a natural citrus-based product. I'm trying to move away from solvents as much as possible, but that stuff's pretty good stuff. It's pretty nice. Clean this thing up, degrease it, hit it with the wheel, prep it out, and get it ready and shoot it with the 316 stainless, and we'll take her from there. Okay, we're truing this wheel up now, and I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube, and I'm not picking on anybody because I've seen a lot of great stuff on YouTube. It's really a great platform for learning. And what I was getting at was these Buchanan stainless spokes. And one of the things that most people aren't saying about them when they're talking about lacing up wheels is the fact that when you buy spokes from Buchanan's, they're stainless steel spokes and stainless steel nipples, and they give you a grease. It's a black grease, and it's almost like an assembly lube that you have to put on the threads. And if you ever do this and you're a beginner, you must coat those threads with that black grease. Otherwise the spokes can gall and you'll never get them to budge again. The threads will gall on the actual spokes between the threading here and the threads on your stainless steel nipples. So make sure if you do start farting around with wheels, and I encourage anybody to do it because it's a cool thing to do. make sure that you do that with the wheels. Let's see what we got here. It's not too bad. It's a lot easier than a 21. This is an 18-inch rear, so it makes it a lot easier to do. I'm in round 2. I got it tight and got it pretty close. I'm within a millimeter. I'm following this guide on the wheel, and I gotta adjust my up and down here and see what I can do. But just remember that with stainless spokes and stainless nipples, that it's very important that you put that thread grease on your threads. All right, so we're back. So what do we have here? We have our front tire, or front wheel rather. New Excel wheel, Buchanan spokes, stainless nipples, new bearings, brake shoes, yada, the whole nine. And then we have our rear on the bike. Very, very nice. And if you recall, I was saying the object of the game was to do the wheels to motivate. And in the meantime, when I jacked the bike up, I basically had to remove the seat. So we have a freshly redone Honda seat on this thing. Very nice. I'm very, very pleased with this. Very, very happy, I must say. So here we are. I mean, now we're looking at this bike in a different way. And there's a lesson to be learned here. And what I'm trying to convey is, don't take your bike completely apart if you want to restore it. Restore parts of your bike, like I have here. In fact, I had said I was going to do both wheels originally, and then I was going to tear the bike down. Now I'm even in a different spot. I've changed my mind again, and that's fine because it's safe. It's the way to go. I want to turn the bars a little bit. See if we can get a view like this. See her from the side. Yeah, look at that. Okay. I think now we're going to go for the tank. We're going to do a little bit of chemistry and do some rust removal and put some paint on the tank and I believe the fenders. I think that's what I'm going to do because, hey, why not? Why tear the bike apart again? I mean, the wheels are just obviously loosely put on there, no cable connections, rear brake connection isn't in place. I know this, but this is what I wanted to show you. You've got a myriad of options in a restoration. I see a lot of guys take the stuff apart and then they lose motivation, or they don't have a catalog, or they didn't take good photos when they did a disassembly, and they end up losing motivation and it ends up leaving in a garage sale. And I don't want that to happen to people. I don't want another bike to go into the parts lot online, certain applications. And we have a nice pair of gold footrests there that are going to go on the bike as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and do the fuel tank. Let's do the fenders. Let's at least do the front fender. The rear means quite a bit of takedown. Well, we'll decide. Let's decide as we go. We'll just take it from there. But the important thing is, if you look at this bike now, it's somewhat of a game changer. You get that tank done, get the fenders done, you're halfway there on a restoration, and it's a lot easier to do. So consider this if you're going to do a bike.